Let's get straight to the main topic. A brilliant attack by the security service of Ukraine behind enemy lines. Command headquarters, weapons depots, and locations of the occupiers have been struck. The enemy is unable to recover from what happened. Details of the virtuoso operation by the Ukrainian Special Services. Let's watch.
A brilliant and well-executed operation by the SBU that cut the occupiers off from their command. Secret facilities were hit, targets that are usually not so easy to reach.
In general, these places are very well hidden, securely concealed, and striking them is always highly relevant.
We're talking about main headquarters and command posts. Information about their locations is highly classified. And that's not surprising because the front depends on their operations, but one careless move and the headquarters becomes exposed plain as day. After that, it's just a matter of technique.
As a rule, they are detected either by some kind of equipment, like, I don't know, a satellite flies over and spots something suspicious, or through interception, or from some careless conversation, like when a Russian soldier calls his mom and says, "Mom, you won't believe it. They let me work at a secret headquarters somewhere in the Zaporizhia region." It's not hard to intercept the conversation and identify the place, the location where he's speaking from.
Thanks to the elite Alpha Special Forces, 4 headquarters and command posts were destroyed simultaneously. And all of them were located behind enemy lines, that is, where the Russians felt securely hidden.
It's important for the commanders from different directions to gather there with their large maps. And ideally, it would be great if generals showed up too, with stripes as wide as a highway. So they went in there, and of course that's when you hit them. We
won't go into the details of these operations. It's enough to understand that this is very painstaking work. But the damage inflicted on the occupiers was worth it. Thanks to the successful destruction of such targets, the Russian invaders now face increasingly severe challenges in commanding their units, supplying essential resources, and preparing new attacks. As part of the SBU operation, 3 locations where personnel were stationed, including FSB Special Forces, also came under attack. In addition, Ukrainian specialists struck a drone manufacturing facility, 2 fuel and lubricant storage depots, 2 separate UAV launch positions, an ammunition depot, and a logistics hub. 4 command and observation posts and other essential military facilities were also destroyed. FP2 drones carried out strikes on these targets. According to the SBU press service, the UAVs were equipped with warheads weighing 105 kilograms, which ensured the high effectiveness of the operation. SBU drones are working not only directly against Russian occupiers, but also against targets that support the front. Of course, we're talking about the Russian military-industrial complex. And here, too, the Russians have suffered losses in recent days. UAVs paid a visit to the Metafrax chemicals plant in Permkrai. The distance to it is 1,600 kilometers. But that's no obstacle for the SBU when the task is to undermine Russia's rear military industry. This specific industrial enterprise is the single largest and most significant producer of methanol in the whole of Russia. Its products are widely used to manufacture chemical components that are absolutely essential for the production of explosives and various other military materials. This is already a strike on the Ukhta oil refinery. Here, the SBU set a new record. This oil refinery is located 1,750 kilometers from the border with Ukraine. Attacking oil facilities seems to be one of the security service's favorite drone targets in general. The previous night, the SBU also struck the Tamaneftegaz oil terminal in the Krasnodar region.
They were, after all, of the standard airplane type.
Drone.
The drone right there is operating in real time.
Where is it?
Yeah, look, just look out the window.
Tamaneftegaz is one of the most significant Russian ports in the Black Sea region, specializing in the transshipment of oil, gas, and ammonia. The previous strike on this terminal on January 22nd resulted in losses for Russia of around $50 million. And that's just a small part of the work accomplished in a very short time by the security service to undermine the military potential of the Russian Federation. And how much more is still ahead?
The armed forces of Ukraine have also achieved successes in the Dnipropetrovsk, Zaporizhia, and Kharkiv regions. And yes, in Kupiansk, which Putin, according to him, has captured about a dozen times already, around 40 Russian soldiers remain surrounded. For details on what is happening right now on the front line, watch the report by TSN military correspondent Andriy Tsaplienko.
First, the detection of enemy groups, followed by massive drone strikes combined with lightning-fast sweeps of the occupiers' fortified strongholds. And the Special Operations Forces of the 34th Ranger Regiment have demonstrated how effective this approach is.
The word ranger itself comes from the English word range, meaning the length of a path, and we have to cover these paths relentlessly. We can get in, complete the mission in a couple of hours, and get back. Drones can't do everything. Surrender peacefully, and you will stay alive.
This is Donetsk region. The Rangers have just cleared out a hideout of the occupiers here who didn't spot the drones.
Yes, we made voice contact. We offered them to surrender, but no one responded. It was decided to clear out the dugout. We saw the bodies and took the weapons.
Captured weapons? Show us what kind of weapons these are. Is this the weapon that was captured during the firefight, as I understand it?
Yes, this is the first trophy that was handed over. Accordingly, there was an encounter with the enemy. My specialists destroyed it, and accordingly, along with documents and everything else, they took this type of weapon as a sample. This is a second-generation AK-12. But apparently, they had some trouble with the sling.
Only the individuals who are exceptionally well-trained and highly motivated go out on these raids.
FPV, look. I got it. I was wounded by a drone, both legs and an arm. I spent 4 months being treated in hospitals. I sat at home and it got boring. I wanted to return to service, so here I am.
They are brought to the landing point by light armor, the American M113. This vehicle is twice as old as its driver. It probably even saw the jungles of Vietnam, but we haven't heard any complaints about its antique age from the Rangers.
This is a vehicle with a certain soul. You need to feel the vehicle. It should become an extension of yourself. Most of the combat mission you carry out depends on it.
The active defense tactics of the Ukrainian Rangers, as they say, inspire cautious optimism.
According to intelligence reports today, by the end of February, the enemy forces have been tasked with capturing and securing the settlement.
Will they still be able to manage to accomplish the mission they've set out for themselves?
If there aren't, let's say, massive assaults, the enemy will be stopped in their tracks.
Light infantry also plays a key role in the operation that became a slap in the face to the chief of the Russian General Staff. Valery Gerasimov had already announced the capture of Kupiansk at the very moment when these guys, the foreign volunteers of the Kartia Brigade, had practically cleared the city center of Russians. They could have surrendered.
They could have, and we give them that opportunity, but their command has brainwashed them. As soon as they hear foreigners, and this actually happened just a couple of days ago, the moment they hear English, they immediately get scared of us and completely refuse to surrender.
It's not merely English.
Which country? Portugal, mon imam. Portugal. A foreigner shouldn't ever feel like an outsider here. When he truly feels like one of us, he also starts to move and work just like everyone else in this country. But if he feels like an outsider, a foreigner, someone who speaks a different language, then his behavior will also be different.
The core of the unit that liberated Kupin consisted of volunteers from Latin America. The motivation isn't just financial.
To be honest, I was really angry. I got angry when I saw how a 1-year-old baby, Dima, and his grandmother were attacked by a Russian drone, which took his short life. For me, that was the last straw. I couldn't go on living an ordinary life in Brazil, knowing that innocent people were being killed here. And I decided to fight for them in Ukraine. My call sign is Carbonero. I'm from Colombia. We attack the Russians. They react to situations, but not quite like we do. They tend to retreat or find a place to hide. I think our training is much more advanced than theirs. They practically have none. They have a big advantage because they have drones and artillery. But when it comes to direct confrontation, the advantage is always ours.
Right now, the operation in Kupiansk is currently ongoing.
Right now, the ratio of people to drones is a problem. There are at least 10 drones for every infantryman. Sometimes we're talking about 1,000 drones. When you eliminate a Russian, he no longer poses a threat. When you shoot down a drone, they immediately send another one.
Karti responds in kind. Instead of artillery preparation, drones are flying in. Yes, stop, please. Yes, I'll tell you what needs to be done. Before the assault troops enter Kupiansk, Karti's drones drive the occupiers into their holes.
Go ahead and hit them. There's a delay. That's good. That's very good.
The Russian offensive has slowed down. The number of assaults is increasing, but the pace of advancement is decreasing. The enemy seems to be getting tired and refuses to agree to peace, which means they are looking for resources to prolong the war.